Hey everybody. I am here today with Stephanie Bascone. Stephanie, I'm going to let you tell a little bit about yourself because you are so interesting. Stephanie is also a district judge, but she had this little side gig when she was in college that brought her to just almost a new vocation. So tell us a little bit about that and what you have here.
Okay, so when I was in college, I got a job to put myself through college, and I ended up working at a bakery. And I swear I worked with a woman who created the chocolate chunk cookie. She was worked with, well, we were in Dallas, and at the time, Mrs. Fields cookies were very big. And she was sort of in competition with that and wanted to do something a little bit different. So she created the chocolate chunk cookie. And so she taught me a lot about chocolate. So it got me into the whole chocolate idea. And back then, it was hard to find some like really good quality chocolate. She didn't have a lot of it easily available to you.
Not much at the grocery store.
No, but nowadays it's totally different. The types of chocolate that you can get now at the grocery store is amazing. And of course, if you can't get it at the grocery store nowadays, you can get it online, Amazon, everywhere, right?
Which brings me to back here behind us. Maybe we can bring this forward and show it to the camera.
All right.
Is about 11-pound piece of chocolate, right? That you ordered. And tell me about this.
So, there's some really good quality chocolates out there. Calabet is one of them, and Valrhone from Spain, I believe. Ghirardelli out of San Francisco, I believe. All kinds of really good chocolates are available now, and this is one of them. And I just ordered it online. And what I typically do is you just start, you take it, you start cutting it up. I've got some heavy-duty knives, so we can do that and show a little bit of that process, and then use that to melt to create your ganache.
This is heavenly. Standing there with this much chocolate.
Yes, it's fun. It's fun.
All right, and then you have some samples of some other things that you can. Some of these may be more identifiable to you all as typical Hershey's cocoa,
Guitar,
Ghirardelli from San Francisco, more Ghirardelli, and then these are cute. These are little tiny chocolate mini chips.
Those are good for decorating.
Okay, use that for decorating. And then, of course,
white chocolate. Now, my favorite is semi-sweet. So I like the 60%, which is what this is. But always milk chocolate. A lot of people like milk chocolate. It's very popular. So,
all right. Okay. Well, tell us what we're going to do today.
All right. So we're going to make chocolate truffles. Okay. They seem like they would be very difficult, but they're actually super simple to make. And it's basically you're creating a ganache, and the ganache is what you then refrigerate. You have to keep it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and then you form it into a ball, and you can coat it with a bunch of different little toppings. Or my favorite actually is just melting more chocolate and putting it in more chocolate. Chocolate covered chocolate.
Yeah, I like that. You can't go wrong with that.
How can you go wrong? So that's what we're going to do.
Okay, well, let's get to it. You want me to turn this little thing on here and get it warming up?
All right.
And you want it like on about a medium?
A little, like a 6, like a medium high. Okay, so it's a cup and a quarter cup of heavy cream.
Okay, and we have good old HEB heavy cream here.
And if it spills over, can't have enough cream, right?
All right. So it's not like baking where it has to be an exact science.
A lot of
fairly close.
A lot of people think you do. I don't. I have some recipes, but a lot of it's just sort of the feel of it. I love these little cups too.
I got them just for you coming today.
Okay. All right. So then what you do is you put in 1 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And we are just going to bring this to a soft boil. Okay. And I try to make sure that I pay really close attention to it. And you don't have to stir it all the time, but you do want to keep a real close eye on it so it doesn't scald, it doesn't burn the bottom on the bottom of the pan. So I just pay really close attention to that. So you take a part of the huge block of chocolate, and then you just start
enough pieces, and I would think you need
sure.
This is one of those deals where your knives really need to be sharp.
They do, and so I use the big knife, and I also use the super sharp knife. And what you want to do is you just want to sort of break it into bigger chunks. You need 12 to 16 ounces of chocolate. Be careful with the knives.
Yes, yeah.
These things are really really thick. And so what I typically do is sort of just do short, small cuts in it at first. See?
Yeah.
Short, small, but then sort of leverage it a little bit more.
Right.
This is the chocolate. Then I just weigh it on the kitchen scale.
Okay.
And then, okay, so here we go. We've got this sort of,
Definitely
not quite,
steaming, but not quite making bubbles yet.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll just take this, and a lot of times I'll use a
little bowl to put on there or something.
Or there's parchment paper over there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll take a piece of parchment paper, and this is a nice trick. You just take this. And then this way, for weighing the chocolate, you put your parchment paper on the scale before you turn it on.
Okay.
And then that way, when you turn it on, it's zeroed out.
Okay.
And sort of counts for the weight of that. And then you weigh out your however many ounces you are.
Okay. And it's how many ounces did you say?
So anywhere from 12 to 16, I use 14.
Oh.
And so I have that already in there. And so if you want to go ahead and pour that in.
So, and then we know this is 14.
That's 14.
I've already measured it out. Okay.
There you go. And then you just sort of let it soak in there a little bit.
Okay.
In that.
So you're just letting it melt,
cream.
it seems like a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly. Again, super simple recipe. And all I'm doing is
you are just
mixing
it
to get it all mixed in.
You can still see the chocolate, but it's
really pretty.
Slowly starting to.
Right. And let's move to our whisk then.
Okay.
So we can whisk it all in. And especially just melting the chocolate in the cream, you can add your favorite liqueur.
Oh, okay.
You can
add maybe like an orange flavor.
Yes, like Grand Marnier is perfect.
Yeah.
Grand Marnier is perfect. You can do like a flavored rum. You can do cognac, and that creates your ganache. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And you can do a lot with your ganache. You can take that and cover a cake with it. You put it on cookies. It's such a ganache is an amazing thing to be able to have at your fingertips.
Absolutely, because not only can you do this and make the truffles, but one of the things that I brought with me today was also some strawberries.
Oh.
So you've got chocolate dipped strawberries. This would be the time where you would use the ganache for the strawberries.
Okay. Because it's still nice and liquidy.
Hot. Yes.
Yeah.
Because the next step for the truffles is you would need to put this in the refrigerator, move it to another bowl, and let it cool off.
Cool.
And then once it cools, it really does need to stay in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 hours to set in order to make your truffles.
And through the magic of preparation, you have brought us that.
All right, so sort of in keeping with the theme of this is a simple recipe, things you can get at the grocery store. Always around Valentine's, you can get really nice, pretty strawberries. They do a really good job of making those available. And then this is our coverings are just chocolate chips, cocoa powder, pistachios that I've chopped up.
Pistachio and
Yes.
chopped up.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And this is cocoa powder.
That's cocoa powder. And then
is this
milk chocolate. So we'll need to melt those.
Okay.
And these are just
Melt
confections. And then mini chocolate chips, which we don't melt. We put those on. We'll show that here in a minute. And of course, salt. And I've got some caramel for sea salt caramel.
Oh.
Both for the truffles, and I guess you could try that on the strawberries. All right, so then this is the time that you'd use the ganache for the strawberries. And then all you do is you take it by the stem, dip it in.
Beautiful.
This, being a ganache with the cream in it, stays with the strawberry, so you get the complete taste of the strawberry with the chocolate in it. And then you can decide that now's the time we would want to put here's some our
sprinkles.
Valentine sprinkles with little hearts and the
Oh,
white
wow.
and the pink.
I
You want to do that?
Pink and red.
Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And then,
Talk about special.
Who-
And really, these decorated strawberries are pretty expensive at the grocery store.
And this is not. So we'll just transfer this to the bowl. And that spatula right there. And again, this is when you would add any of your
Flavoring.
Flavorings, yes.
What's your favorite flavoring?
The espresso, instant espresso. It's just amazing. So you can add your flavor at this stage, or you can add your flavor with with the covering. So we can add instant espresso powder to this again. Actually, I do 2 tablespoons for this much. I usually cut this in half, and then you can do different flavorings and have different choices. And I would put at least a tablespoon in each for the espresso powder. So this whole thing would be 2 tablespoons. Okay, so this is the tricky part. We have our ganache that has been in our refrigerator for 2 to 3 hours. And I'm going to scoop it out, roll it in a ball, and then I'm going to get you to help me, because once I do that, my hands are a mess.
Okay.
So,
and then you want me to do the
so
rolling?
Would you want to do the cocoa?
Oh, yes, that's probably one of my favorites.
And so you need you probably need a teaspoon as well. Yes, you probably need a teaspoon as well. And then all you do is you just take some of the ganache. You can see how it's firmed up.
Right.
And sort of create like an inch.
Still very pliable.
Yes, very pliable, very messy. And then you create it, but you don't want to handle it a long time, because that's what starts to melt. That one's a little big, but just roll that around in there, cover it with. Oh, that's working out really.
Yeah. So that's all I'm doing, is just tossing it around. Oh, that looks really pretty.
There you go. This is super simple. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Super simple.
Yeah.
And then do you want to do one in, okay, so let's do this one. This is the chocolate.
This is the
That
chocolate.
one's a little more.
Okay, so you're going to roll one up, and then I'm going to dip it in here. And so the difference between, this is going to be more like the hard shell.
Correct.
Okay, because this is actually chocolate chips that have been
just melted.
Melted, yeah.
So I'm just going to roll that in a ball. And then dip it in there, and you just scoop it. Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Just scoop it out.
Yep.
Okay, now you've brought out the bowl that you had added the espresso.
That is correct. And so the thing is, it doesn't look any different, so make sure you mark it very well. So you know which one's the espresso, which one's got your liquors in it.
Yeah, all right.
So
I mean, that's like the perfect 2 o'clock in the afternoon pick me up.
There you go. Absolutely. And a little
chocolate, a little espresso.
There you go. And so you just roll it in a ball. Do that again.
Bring it back in here.
Well, I guess we could do pistachio next.
Okay, so this is the strawberry.
Well, let me dry it here off a little bit, so it's not wet. And then you take
So you rinsed it, and then you made sure it was dry, so that it would hold on.
Yeah, and then just roll it in the chocolate chips.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, you gotta move it quickly, and then it'll set. Okay. Then it will set.
Wow!
Fun. Isn't that fun? These are cocoa covered. These are pistachio. This is our sea salt caramel. All these are the regular ganache. And then this is the espresso ganache. That's a sea salt caramel. That's just any type of sprinkles that you can find.
So Stephanie, thank you so much. This has been so much fun today. I knew you and I'd have fun together. I'm just looking forward to this. And I appreciate you sharing your knowledge of making truffles. We have a tradition in Texicurians. Once we cook together, you're a Texicurian.
Okay.
And this is for you.
Oh, thank you.
Everything tastes good in Texas.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.